Hi, this is Prak with iRepairMD, and today we have a Motorola Edge 2021. And right when he got out of the store, opening it up, it fell and it broke. So unlucky for him, the store did not accept his return or exchange. But today we are gonna go ahead and fix the screen for him. What we have is a bad LCD on the Motorola. What you need for this repair is a new screen. You can get it from eBay, Amazon, or some link below. And what you need is a few tools. You need a few sets of tool and a heat gun. Okay, so let's go ahead. And first thing we're gonna do is concentrate on taking the screen, the defective screen, off this phone. So let me rotate this to a view, get a better angle. All right, so let's go ahead. We're gonna start with the back of the phone, add heat. The heat will loosen the adhesive. This is a simple phone to replace the back screen on. Most of the Android phones are fairly easy to replace. So add some heat, not too much heat, just enough heat to loosen the adhesive that's holding the phone on. Okay, now that we have that, so we can lift the edge, we're lifting the back side. Let's go ahead and lift this off right here. Now use the guitar pick tool. We're gonna run, there we go. And then we will add some more heat as needed so we can loosen the glue, loosen the adhesive. All right, run it around. As soon as you feel some resistance, go ahead and add some more heat. All right. All right. Okay, now that we have this off, let's go ahead and work on the camera section carefully. All right, just slowly lift the camera section off. There we go. Okay, now that we got this lifted, okay, these adhesive here, we're gonna put new adhesive around it to seal it off. All right, let's go ahead and get access, get all the glass debris off a little bit. All right. What we need to do is go ahead and take the plate off. Okay, so use the Phillips screw. So what we need to do first, once we get all the plate off, is we want to go ahead and disengage the battery. You don't want to do a repair with the battery still plugged in. In this case, the monitor, the screen is still on, so it's very important to disengage the battery as soon as we can to prevent any damage to the logic board. Okay. This is a magnetic screwdriver. Comes in very handy for this kind of repair, especially when you have such small screws. Okay, let's examine this area. See if we have any more screws. We got 1, 2, 2 more screws. Yep, just 2 more screws. To the left side of the camera. Okay. Let's go ahead and use the pry tool to lift up the plate. Again, this is my first time repairing this particular model, so I'm going to be very careful that I'm lifting everything carefully and not forgetting a screw. See, there's one more screw here that I forgot. That's why you have to be very careful when conducting this kind of repair. You don't want to add force to it. Just put enough force just to lift whatever adhesive that is sticking the part to the board, but not strong enough that you will rip the screw off either. Because that would definitely do some internal damage. Okay. Again, I'm very careful. And this is the shielding. Seems to be some resistance right over up here. Let's see. Are there any additional screws that I must be aware of? Doesn't feel like it. All right, I'm gonna carefully lift this off. Okay, there's definitely some pressure right here that I am not aware of. Okay, so let's go ahead and gingerly work around this area. And I'm using a plastic tool because you don't want anything that has a hard edge like a metal piece, because that could damage whatever cable that you might depend on. All right. So let's take a look at what we got here. Is there another screw that I forgot? Yes, we have one more screw right here underneath the camera. So this camera do have another screw that I wasn't aware of, but being careful as I am allow me to carefully locate it without doing any damage to this phone. There's some more adhesive, more screws here. So underneath these adhesive are screws. All right. So there you go. So we had 5 more screws. See, that's why you have to be very, very careful when working on a phone you're not familiar with. Is you have to be ginger around it, or gingerly. There you go. And again, if you're looking at this video and you really can't do the work yourself, you can definitely contact us and you can ship it to us and we can do the repair for you. iPhones will require a longer turnaround. All right, now it comes off fairly easy. Let's put this, the rest. Okay, so now this is the battery and this is the battery shielding. Let's go ahead and carefully disengage the battery. There you go. Disengaging the battery. Okay, that's one battery. Is there another one? Nope, that's all the battery that we need to disengage. And you notice this is the screen. So this is the monitor. Zoom out. So what we have is the LCD on the other side. and this is the LCD plug. So what we need is to actually lift the battery out. And again, battery has a pretty good charge, so you really want to carefully lift the battery out of this unit. Okay, so what we need to do is put some isopropyl alcohol into where the battery wells is, and that's gonna loosen the adhesive. Okay, so around the battery, I'm using 99.9% electronic isopropyl alcohol. Putting on the edge here, around the corner. I'm gonna wait about a minute and let the alcohol go in and help loosen the adhesive. This is behind the battery. This is 99.9% alcohol, so it's electronic safe. All right, we'll come back in about a minute or so. Okay, so now it's been over 3 minutes, so let's go ahead and carefully use the pry tool. Okay. Put this out of the way. Okay. I know that there's going to be this cable right here underneath this cable here. That is the LCD cable. So I'm pretty sure if I put this underneath, it's gonna probably separate it, but that doesn't really matter because we are trying to rescue the battery. The reason why we're putting so much effort into taking the battery out is because this is packed with power and it can be damaging to you and the phone, and plus you can't reuse the battery. All right, battery comes off. Let's put this battery here, and this is the cable. Let's go ahead and take the display cable out. Yeah, you see, pried it off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and work on the front. We're gonna take the display off. Let's go ahead and add heat. Okay, so the display is totally destroyed, so we're just gonna go ahead and just cut into it and just take the display off. I wanna find an edge. Okay, this one I'm gonna use a sharp tool. A razor here. I wanna lift this display out. All we're trying to do is just get underneath this display because it's already been destroyed. So we're just gonna go ahead and carefully lift it without damaging the frame, but we know that the display is destroyed already. With the top pick, go ahead and just rip the display off. And you can see why I'm wearing gloves. Okay. Rip the display. These are all the other sheets underneath the display. I'm not worried about damaging the display because it's already gone. I'm worried about the frame, not damaging the frame, so I'd rather rip the display off as opposed to damaging the frame. All right. So now we got the LCD light reflector. That's the last piece. Let's go ahead and take that off also. This is the forward-facing camera. Let's go ahead, lift that up. Look at all these different sheets. Mirror reflector. Okay. And I believe that is the end of this. Okay. Now let's go ahead and clean this frame off. This is a very sensitive display they got here. All right, here we go. Now we got the frame off. So the adhesive, the alcohol that I put in earlier actually helps loosen this frame also. You can see it right here. Now we want to take off every piece of glass, every shrapnel of glass, because once we put the frame on, we don't want it to add pressure onto the new display, which could cause it to damage. So we're going to carefully go ahead, just scrape the rest of these off. Okay. With a new set of gloves after this. I'm gonna switch off my glove. I'm already ripping my hands here. Put new gloves in. All right, no gloves. Just when you have your hand wet, you really can't put on the gloves. All right, so let's go ahead and take all this debris off. Have a better cleaning surface. Let's put this away. I'll put on the gloves after this. All right, now that I cleaned the surface off with all the glass debris, I'm gonna go ahead and proceed with removing all the additional debris off the frame. All right, and again, be very careful. Make sure you get all these glass shard off the frame. All right, I'll go ahead and jump to fixing it. Okay, so now I went and actually cleaned all the edges off, verify it with my finger, making sure all piece of glass is off. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean the edges with alcohol a little bit. I'm gonna get a little towel right here, just in case I'm missing something. I'm gonna go ahead and run alcohol on the edges here. Make sure I get everything off. And now let's go ahead and swipe this completely clean. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum this area too. So now that we got alcohol clean and vacuum it completely, we can go ahead and put the new LCD in. So this is the new LCD. First, we're gonna test it to make sure it works before we put the adhesive. Okay, so we're gonna line it up. This is down. I'm gonna loop LCD screen into here. Before I take up anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and power it up. Let's go ahead and put the LCD connector in. Okay, connectors in. Let's go ahead and test the battery. Slide the battery in here to test it out. Okay, let's power this thing on. Power. See if this thing powers on. There you go. Got the Motorola logo. This now I'm checking for touch and also any kind of screen defect. Let's wait till this thing load up. So far, so good. Okay, so no screen defects and the touch are working. Okay, let's go ahead and power this back down. Power off. And then we're gonna disengage the battery. Lift it up. Now we're gonna go ahead and prep the connector for this. Okay. So we have two surface areas we have to prep. We have to prep this with double-sided adhesive, and then this area here we're gonna remove. We wanna make sure that everything is secure, and let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start putting the adhesive around. Actually, I'm going to be using a special glue in this case. I'm using a special glue. Okay. This is a special glue that I use for the frame. I'm going to go ahead and apply it around the edge. This is a special rubber silicone adhesive that stays flexible and also offer adhesion all the time, so it's not gonna dry up. It's gonna offer the right amount of seal that we want. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it evenly around. Okay. Put a little bit back here. Now, smear the edges. Making sure the front camera is okay. All right, so the forward-facing camera is right here. Now let's go ahead and slide this in for a contact. This adhesive is workable for over 20 minutes before it actually seals. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting everything back together. All right, put the LCD connector back in. Right here. Now bring the shielding over it. Let's stretch out the shielding. Yep. Shielding over. Now battery. And I will, again, put a little bit of this adhesive on to keep the battery secured. I'll put the battery, seat the battery connector in. Let's go ahead and power on the phone one more time. All right, see a blinking light. Just wait for the Motorola logo to kick in. Okay. Powered on, hold it a little longer. Here we go. Gotta hold on a little longer. So the Motorola is working. Okay, while that does its thing, we'll go ahead and put the plates back on. Okay, go ahead and put the camera into place. Camera covers, and then the shielding. Battery shielding, make sure it's lined up right. Now go ahead and put the screws back on. Here we go. All the screws on this particular phone are all the same size, so we don't have to put a special isolation section. And when I like to work on this phone, I like to work on the screws in rows, working myself up. Okay, so now this particular phone does use a whole lot of screws. Okay. All right, we got one more screw here, and that's on this edge. Adhesive off. Okay, so now we have these adhesive here, and like I'm gonna do the other one, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a whole new type of adhesive. These rubber one, these are still usable, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. But in order to reactivate that one, I'm gonna dab a little alcohol on the side here to reactivate the glue, the adhesive. And then the rest, I will use my special glue to make sure. I want to put it on the edge and not block any kind of speaker or microphone hole that would affect the proper use. This microphone hole here, skip that. Okay, now that we have that, we can go ahead and put the backplate back on. Okay, let's look at the phone, 30% charge. And so now that I have this done, I'm gonna go ahead and put adhesive tape all around. This way we have constant pressure around this. Start from the front of the screen, work it back. I'll stretch it out a little. Okay, so we have that. Okay, this one, doing away from the power button. There you go. Power button is recessed, so it's all right. Adding enough pressure. So I'm putting enough pressure so that the adhesive will bind all this. One more wrap right here, up and down. Starting in the front of the screen and then forcing it around. All right, I'm gonna let it sit there for about 20 minutes and we'll be back to do the cleaning and finish off the repair. Okay, so now it's been a while. Let's go ahead and take the screen out and start cleaning the phone. There we go. Peeling this off. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and put a screen protector on to this. Now that we're here and there's a brand new screen, just go ahead and put the screen protector on. So next time it might minimize the amount of damage it sustained. Right. Use alcohol wipe. It came with the screen box. Clean the edge. All right, let's clean it. Put a little alcohol, clean the edges off. All right, clean the back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do some more cleaning, and we're gonna go straight to the finished product. Okay, so there you go, the repair is complete. This is the Motorola Edge 2021 model, and you can see everything here works. This is Prac with iRepairMD. Safe repair. Have a good day.